We are tracking that breaking news this morning. A passenger plane colliding with a military helicopter in midair over Washington, D.C. Both aircraft then plummeted into the Potomac River.
Search and rescue missions carried on throughout the night. And this morning, we're learning more about the passengers traveling from Wichita, Kansas to D.C. Let's get right to Good Day's Robert Moses. He joins us this morning with the latest. And Robert, the outlook is grim.
It is, Tashani and Dan, and we have to acknowledge that right off the top. The tragic reality is that given what happened here, both the collision and the frigid waters of the Potomac River, the chance of finding any survivors is very, very slim. This video I want to direct your attention to. This is the flag-draped body of one of the service members as that body was loaded into an ambulance, and you can see the first responders saluting. Yes. Unfortunately, we expect to see scenes like this one repeated as we move throughout this day because the chance of finding anyone alive is very, very slim. We want to show you this video from EarthCam. It shows the moment last night right before 9 when American Eagle Flight 5342 from Wichita, Kansas, on approach to the airport with 60 passengers and 4 crew members aboard, collided with a U.S. Army Sikorsky Black Hawk helicopter on a training mission with 3 soldiers aboard. This happened about 3 miles south of the White House and Capitol. Hundreds of first responders descended on the scene. A rescue operation is now underway in the dark, frigid waters of the Potomac. Earlier this morning, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser spoke at the airport alongside the 2 senators from Kansas.
I know that flight. I've flown it many times myself. This is a very personal circumstance.
You know, when one person dies, it's a tragedy, but when many, many, many people die, it's an unbearable sorrow. It's a heartbreak beyond measure. It's really hard when you lose, you know, probably over 60 Kansans simultaneously, and I don't want to forget the pilots and the flight attendants. You know, we're doing, do their job, and the military personnel we lost.
We're obviously trying to get to people as soon as possible, but we are going to recover our fellow citizens.
We are learning about some of the people who were on board that American Airlines flight. U.S. Figure Skating confirms that, quote, several members of its community, including athletes, coaches, and family members, were coming home from a camp held in conjunction with the U.S. Figure Skating Championships in Wichita, which ended on Sunday. And we are also hearing from the CEO of American Airlines.
We're cooperating fully with the National Transportation Safety Board in its investigation, and will continue to provide all the information we can. Our cooperation is without pause, and we want to learn everything we can about today's events. That work will take time.
And while this investigation is in its very early stages, President Donald Trump said on Truth Social that it looks like the crash, quote, should have been prevented. He called this a terrible night. Reagan National Airport still closed to all inbound and outbound flights. Flights are not scheduled to resume until 11 o'clock this morning at the earliest. We're also expecting another news conference in about an hour and a half from now, 7:30 this morning, with D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser and other first responders. If we learn anything new from that news conference, we'll, of course, pass it along to you. And if we learn anything before that news conference, we'll let you know that as well.
All right, Robert, thank you.